Now that was a much better performance from the Toronto Blue Jays after that 13-1 whomping last night. They go out there today and they do a job winning 6-2 over the Houston Astros. And I mentioned it in yesterday's video. You could lose 13-1 or you could lose 2-1. It doesn't matter. It's one loss. And the great thing about baseball, you get back on the horse, you get back at it the next day, and you have an opportunity to right the ship and bottom line, put that 13-1 loss away and never talk about it again. And that is exactly what this team did today with the 6-2 win over the Houston Astros. They improved to 30-26 on the season. And with a win tomorrow, in the finale, they can split the season series against the Houston Astros, which would be a great feat considering the way this series started. And let's get to this ball game, because we talked about it in yesterday's video how the defense was awful. Well, early on in this one, the defense was the main reason why this game stayed tied and why this game stayed close. Stripling was fantastic, but you got to get good defense behind you. And a great play in the very first inning. You had a little dribbler down the third base line, right, to Joe Panic, and he fires on to first. It's obviously not in time, but Altuve, rounding second, thinks, I'm going to try and get to third. Vladdy sees that at first, throws a one-hopper to third. Who's there covering? Bo Bichette in the right spot at the right time, gets on the short hop, tags Altuve out, and that is a big time out there. Because I think that was the second out of the inning? No, that was the first out of the inning, excuse me. Can you imagine if no one's there to cover or doesn't get him out, you have runners in the corners with nobody out to start the ball game. But instead, you get Altuve out, right? And he's trying to be aggressive, and I get that. But Vladdy throws him out, gives him a little Mutombo finger wag, and it just changes the entire complexity of that inning. Stripling gets out of that, no runs, done. We go to, I think it was the second or third inning, where Miles Straw is rounding third on a single. I think Altuve hit the single. Straw comes around third. It looks like Gurriel has no chance throwing him out because Straw's already rounding third base. Gurriel's just getting to the ball, and he's not like he's coming in on the ball with all the momentum. He's kind of catching it on the side. But Gurriel, we have now learned this. Well, we haven't now learned. We've learned this for a while, but I think every time he does it, we're just so surprised because he gets an absolute hose from left field. A little off balance on the side. He fires it home on the dime to Reese McGuire to nab Miles Straw at the plate. He didn't even slide because he thought there was no chance. And he gets thrown out of the plate. So another big-time defensive play to keep the game tied 0-0 early. That's going to get all overlooked because of the way Stripling pitched numbers-wise and then the offense, the way they did it there in the bottom half of the fourth and the fifth inning. But it was the defense early on, and then Stripling settled in. But then in the top half of the fourth, he got in some trouble. You know, he got the first two guys out of the inning. That's great. Then he gave up a single, hit Aledmus Diaz, then walks Miles Straw on 4 pitches, and you walk in the run. And that's just an awful inning. What happened to Stripling there? I don't know. And he finds a way to get the next guy out to keep it a 1-0 game. And that is so important because they could have just expanded and exploded that lead. But instead, it's only a 1-0 deficit, which you know you can come back from. And in the next half inning, the Blue Jays get their bats going. Vladdy gets on. Bo gets on. All right? Now you have 2 on, and there's 1 away. Sorry, was it Bo or... No, it was Vladdy got on, and Teoscar got on base. Or no, so it was Vladdy and Gurriel got on. Vladdy and Teo got on. There we go, first and second. And then Gurriel hits a single through the left side between third and short. Vladdy boogieing home. I mean, this guy, he's flying around third base. He slides in safely, and the Jays have tied it at 1. See how important it is to hold down that top of the fourth inning to 1 run. Because now your team just tied the game in the next half inning. Huge. Who comes up a couple batters later? Joe Panic, or was it the next batter? I don't know. Either way, Joe Panic comes up and crushes the ball to right field. And it carries, and it's gone for Joe Panic. A 3-run bomb. Gurriel and Hernandez come in to score on the play. And the Blue Jays have a 4-1 lead. And I will say it again. Can you imagine if, let's say, Stripling absolutely imploded and gave up another 2-run single and you're down 3-0, would this inning have even happened? I don't know. But the fact that it was only 1 run allowed the Blue Jays to get into their groove offensively, and they got it done taking a 4-1 lead there. Stripling goes out there in the top half of the 5th inning after the team scores him 4 runs, puts up a 0. And I'm thinking to myself, He's got to go back out there. He's thrown 74 pitches through 5. Other than that top of the 4th inning, was he in and around some danger? Yeah, he was. But it makes sense to put him out there for the next half inning to try and get him 6 innings. Well, don't worry, we're not there yet. Bottom half of the 5th with Bo Bichette on base. Vladdy gets a hanging curveball off Urquidy, and he crushes it deep and gone. Vladdy with his 18th home run of the season, and he leads the league in RBIs. RBIs? Sorry, he leads the American League in batting average. It's at home runs, and I think it's RBIs too? Or so something along. He's got the bottom line. He's first in all the Triple Crown categories right now, which is pretty crazy. The Blue Jays got a 6-1 lead. And I'm like, there's no doubt Stripling doesn't go out there for the next inning. He got a 5-run lead. Your starting pitcher's giving you 5 innings of 1-run ball. You got to give him an extra inning. No. They take him out. They put out Tim Mesa. Why? We all talk about the bullpen being depleted. Charlie's talked about it himself, that the bullpen's been overused when the starting pitching's not been well. You just got a good start. You already got through the first 3 guys in the batting order. Yes, Alvarez is good and this and that, but you got a 5-run lead. If you sniff any damage coming, then you get someone going. But no, Tim Mesa goes out there. He throws a clean inning, gets a strikeout. Great job from Tim Mesa. That's fine. The Jays don't get any more offense, and then you go to the top of the 9th inning, and an RBI ground out. Miles Schwartz, an RBI ground out. Yuli Gurriel comes in to score on the play and makes it a 6-2 ball game, and that's all she wrote. Now, we'll get to the bullpen and why Rafael Dolis should not have been out there, but I will talk about that in a second. And they pick up the victory. 6-2 W over the Houston Astros, and like I said, improves to 30-26 on the year. And Jays fans, since Ross Stripling made that adjustment to his delivery, listen to these numbers. In 17 innings pitched in his last 3 outings, Buddy's got an ERA of 1.06. Remember when his ERA was 7.20? It's now 4.71, I think it is, after this ball game today. He has turned a corner. I said in yesterday's video that today's start is going to be a real test. He didn't have anybody open for him today. He's facing a really good Astros team. And he went 5 innings of 1-run ball. That is exceptionally good for Ross Stripling today. Did he allow 7 hits? Yeah, he did. Were some of them little snot shots? Yeah, they were. It is what it is. He allowed 1 run. I don't care how stressful they are sometimes. He allowed 1 run, and your team played good defense behind you. That's how you win championships. Good pitching and good defense. And that's what you saw today from the Toronto Blue Jays. Offensively, you saw some pretty good performances today. We talked about yesterday how Teoscar Hernandez was the main guy who went 2 for 3. Team only had 6 hits. Much better offensive performance. You know what? Because your team was actually in the ball game. It gave your team the mindset of, hey, maybe we should actually put up some good at-bats and try and do something. Instead of going out there saying, well, let's see if I can get a hanger and crush it. If not, oh well. There's a totally different mindset in the 13-1 game and let's say a 4-1 game or a 1-1 game or whatever the case may be, whatever time of the game you're looking at. Marcus Semien went 2 for 4 in the game. He's back to hitting great. I mean, he's hitting .299 on the year. You can't ask any more from a 1-year, $18 million contract. Great job for Marcus Semien today doing a job. And just staying on tough pitches, right? He drilled the ball down the left field line. It was a fastball up, and he crushed it. And the first batter of the ball game was Marcus Semien, and he took a tough pitch down and away and just poked it into right field. Beautiful at bat for Marcus Semien. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I mean, what more can we say about this guy? He went 3 for 4 today, had 2 runs scored, couple RBIs, and obviously the absolute moonshot he hit off Urquidy in the bottom of the 5th. 3 for 4, he's hitting up near 340. His on-base percentage is up near 440. Like, the guy's just crushing baseballs right now. It's just not fair. And the approach at the plate is incredible, because you watch that home run at bat, he took some really tough pitches, and the one strike that because it was a 3-1 pitch he hit the home run on. The one strike that he had was the curveball, and the outer half was a good curveball, but he swung at it, didn't want to swing at it, talked to himself, was like, hey, that's not what you want to be doing right now. A couple pitches later, gets the hanger, destroys it. I mean, just an incredible job by Vladdy, an incredible approach to the plate every single night, and you just love to see it. And Joe Panik, since Kevin Biggio has gone down with the injury, he's hitting about 300 as Joe Panik. Got 2 for 4 today, has a run scored. He's got 3 RBIs in the game on the 3-run shot that he hit. Big day at the plate for Joe Panik. He had the single where he got cut down, stretching it into a double, but I understand that. There's 2 out. You want to try and make something happen, get in scoring position. I understand that. Especially at the bottom of the lineup, you want to make something happen. Got thrown out, oh well. But a great job for Joe Panik defensively, and a heck of a job with the bat tonight for Joe Panik. Now let's get to the pitching staff. We talked about Ross Stripling, who went 5 innings, allowed 7 hits, 1 run, struck out 4, and only walked 1 guy. Great job in that 1 walk. Of course, was the bases loaded walk to score a run, but either way, he was spectacular. He was great. You know, he was fantastic all game long. Did he struggle at times? Yes. Did he have good defense behind him? Yes. But when he got in some hairy situations, he did a great job wiggling out of them. And he only allowed that 1 run in that bases loaded situations. That's a great job. And Tim Mays, we talked about his great outing. Trent Thornton was out there, went 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. And why in the Lord did he not go out there for the 9th inning? Why? I mean, he could have gone 3 innings. He's gone 2 1/3, 2 2/3 before this year. So it's not like it's uncharted territory for him. He was at what, like 23 pitches, 25 pitches? That's not a whole lot. You're up 6-1 at the time. You don't need a closer. But instead, they decide to go to Rafael Dolis. He allows a hit, walks a batter, almost loads the bases, ends up getting out of it, allowing 1 run. But now he's not available for tomorrow. And I'm like, why? I understand people are high on Anthony Castro and he's a good pitcher. I get that. But it's a 6-1 ball game. We keep hearing about how the bullpen's taxed, Then why are you using your setup man in a 6-1 game? Well, we want to make sure we lock this game down. Well, okay, have him warming up, but have Thornton start the inning. If he gets into a hairy situation, you have Dolis ready to go. But what they had to do today was bring in Dolis, and then he got into a hairy situation, so you had to get Romano warming up. And it's like, it was just unnecessary. And that goes back to my Stripling point. If you went out there for the 6th inning and gave you a solid 6, then you can go Meza and Thornton for the last 2 innings, and there you go. But no, the numbers suggest, and I'm just like, man, he threw 74 pitches. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm just hoping and praying this doesn't come back to haunt this team tomorrow. I'm really hoping it's not a 2-1 ball game, and you got to throw Anthony Castro out there, a kid who's thrown not a whole lot in the big leagues in his MLB career, and not a whole lot of late innings in his big league career. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. The Jays go out there and they knock Luis Garcia around, the young guy, and hey, they don't need him. Great. I'm hoping that's the case. But if they go out there, we all got this gut feeling. Every time Charlie Montoya does a questionable move, we all sit here and think, okay, well, let's see what happens. It worked out today. Dolis, even though he stretches the hell out in the 9th inning, found a way to get it done. And you pick up the win 6-2. You improved to 4 games over 500. It is what it is, right? Now, as I mentioned, tomorrow's game is a 107 first pitch. Luis Garcia, the rookie, goes for the Houston Astros tomorrow afternoon. And Steven Matz gets the ball for the Blue Jays in the finale of the 3-game series against the Astros. It's a 107 first pitch, as I said. As the Blue Jays look to split the series and split the season, they look to win the series and split the season series. That's what I was going for tomorrow afternoon against the Astros. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and you enjoyed the ball game today because you got good pitching, you got good defense, you got timely hits, and you won a ball game, smack the like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not done so already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the game. What'd you like, what'd you not like from today's ball game for the Toronto Blue Jays? And I will talk to you guys, oh God, Monday, Leafs edition. Yeah, just quickly get this out of the way. Season review, off-season preview, done there. We'll talk to you guys Jays edition, all right, tomorrow afternoon as the Blue Jays look for the Series W against the Houston Astros. It's a 107 first pitch there at Salem Field. Luis Garcia, the youngin, gets the ball for the Astros, and Steven Matz gets the ball for the Blue Jays, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you guys then.